Okay. Did I? I did not. Now I did. Chewbacca with written with two zeros. And was Chewbacca always written with K? Let me actually. Well, it's CH00 Baka instead of the chew as in like chewing and Baka with the two C's. It's with two K's. But I see the reference. I see what you did there. Don't you worry. They are our next author. The first one that they wrote was long, that we got to read from theirs was a long time ago. It's not the first that they wrote, sorry. The first that they wrote that we got to read. One of the SCPs that they wrote that was the first one for us to read is 1066, which I don't have in my the AfroFluff channel. I have that on my AfroFluff channel. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been 1,400. Well, less than 400, but you know what I mean. It's been a while. So Chewbacca, you wrote Hadrian's Well. Well, I saw a name that I haven't seen in a while. Level 2/2418 classified. Up to Class A, special containment procedures. The property containing SCP-2418 is owned by Foundation Front, Charles Hope, Caldwell, and Patriotti. So SCP, huh? SAE. A black market antiquities dealership with connection in the Egyptian government and military. For more information, see Front Company file. Example 3. Yeah, because like a lot of times when they have a fund company, they have some sort of like some sort of word that still spells out SCP. Sorry about that. On the guise of a temporary storage location for artifacts being smuggled out of Egypt. At no point should more than one person enter SCP-2418, except under controlled testing condition. Testing of SCP-2418 anomalous properties requires the approval of Site 42 Ethics Committee liaison. The Foundation primary operational hub for the Red Sea region, including Northwest Africa and Arabian Peninsula. Description: SCP-2418 is an ancient nilometer located in the basement level of a house in El Sheikh Ebada, a small town in southern Egypt. A well with markings along the sides used in antiquity to measure the level of the Nile and predict the severity of its yearly floods. Okay. SCP-2418 was originally constructed in the 13th century BCE by the pharaoh Ramses II as part of a temple to Isis and Osiris. The most recent phase of construction dates to circa 130 AD, when the Roman city of Antinopolis was founded in the site of the older temple complex. SCP-2418's anomalous properties manifest when two individuals enter the water at the bottom and one of those individuals dies of asphyxiation. These individuals must be married or otherwise in a romantic relationship, close relatives, siblings, or parent and a child, or close friends. The surviving individual will manifest when two individuals enter the water at the bottom and one of the The surviving individual will experience a powerful rejuvenating effect. The effects of aging will be reversed significantly, and chronic diseases, sometimes including genetic or congenital conditions, will be cured. The strength of the rejuvenating effects seem to scale proportionally with the strength of the relationship between the individuals, and inversely with the age of the deceased. In no recorded cases has an individual been rejuvenated to an apparent age of less than 25. Okay. SCP-2418 was acquired in 2011 as part of Operation Harpocrates, a coordinated attack on Marshall Colony. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I saw the name while like opening this page up. And of course, an SCP that's all about like keeping somebody like basically immortal or young as long as they have a good relationship with the person that they're doing this with. That sounds like Marshall Collin Dog. That sounds like them. Assets in each doing which the Foundation uses a combination of physical raids, political upheaval, and economic manipulation to effectively remove the presence of MCND and associated groups from the country. We covered document 1, Cura Praetoria Sapiente Oculate Report, Latin circa 130 CE, from the archives of the Vatican Office of Secrets and Prophecy, translated Giulia Mancini in 1987. The Well of Rebirth of Antinous, Osiris, and of Isis, very useful and not at all dangerous. A well in the city of Antinopolis in the province of Egypt, used by the priests of the I'm sorry. There's a TikTok video that is this the way I spoke and it said Egypt reminded me of that. Because I don't remember his name because it's been a while since I watched his stuff. But he was like so good at like comedically describing any franchise or game or anime and so on and so forth. So when he talked about like fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, he was like saying like the country of Egypt, home of the giant nipples and barking giraffes, and for some reason a fucking vampire. And then it just starts like the Jotaro's theme starts playing, and I love that TikTok so much. So okay, sorry. Like, actually, let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that for you guys real quick. Probably not, but hold on. Give me just a hot second. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to. Yeah, okay, I found his name. That's one step. Then Carcass Joe. What do you mean? Why is it? Okay, Carcass Boy. Yeah, if it okay, this is just interesting how I despise TikTok search engine. Like, let's see, like TikTok is good with like how is it this difficult? Okay, let me just go onto this page real quick and see if I can just spot it from the looks in itself, but I don't think I will. There it is. Found it. So
Country of Egypt, home to the giant nipples and bargain bin giraffes, and for some reason a fucking vampire.
That has been living in my head for a long time. So, a well in the city of Antinopolis in the province of Egypt, used by the priests of the Egyptian to measure the rising and falling of the Nile, located beneath the great temple of Antinous, Osiris, and particularly sacred to that hero. If a man should go into the well, and certain secret rituals be performed by the priest of the temple, the man shall be restored to youth and strength, and his illnesses and frailties shall vanish, as he is blessed by Antinous Osiris, which also close enough to a fucking vampire with the Emperor Publius Aelius Hadrianus Augustus having once more fallen ill. The creator Arcanorum Lucius Caecilius Otter was tasked with finding a cure for his ailments and went into Egypt to seek the aid of the priests there, who had always been greatly respected by the emperor. In the town of Baza, on the upper Nile, he found a cult of priests whose order had been established by Ozymandias the Great, and to whom Alexander and the Ptolemies had gone for wisdom and for healing. And when the emperor was informed of these miracles, he went up to the Nile to his temple and bathed in the waters, and his illness was cured. And since on the journey up the Nile, the emperor's favorite Antinous had fallen into the river and drowned, after he had risen up into the heavens as a god. The emperor paid for the temple and the well to be restored, and rededicated them to Antinous Osiris, and founded a city on the site, calling it Antinopolis in his beloved honor. The care of the well was entrusted to the curator Arcanorum, as he had been so serviceable to the emperor and the empire. This well is currently under the care of Lucius Caecilius Atter, curator Arcanorum for Publius Aelius Hadrianus Augustus, and the priesthood of Antinous Osiris. The emperor has forbidden use of the well, and none other than him are to enter it. The secret of the ritual is known only to the emperor, to the priests, and the Caecilius Atter. It is believed that some of the priesthood of the temple may not be loyal citizens of the empire, as there are Egyptians and Syrians, many of them possibly sorcerers, and that they may have some connection with the subversive group of criminal sorcerers and witches known as the Forum Tenebris. Caecilius Atta has pledged to investigate this matter, but has not as of yet found any evidence of disloyalty or criminality among the priests. Notably, the CPSO was apparently unaware of the exact method of activation. See recovered document 3 for further information. Recovered document 2, tomb inscription, Castle Sant'Angelo, Greek, circa 138 AD, inscribed on a marble plaque inside the tomb of the Emperor Hadrian. Original inscription is in the Esoteric Collection of the Vatican Museum, translated Dietrich von Grummet, 1965. Antinous, most beautiful, most wise, forgive me, I beg of you, great God, for placing your life's worth below my own. Kings and emperors may rise and fall, one not much different from the other, but great beauties are eternal, heavenly, each one unique, each one perfection. In my sickness and my hubris, I, a mortal man allowed to touch divinity, destroyed such beauty just to save my life. Forgive me, I beg of you, great God. Antinous, most beautiful, most wise. Recovered document 3, martial card and dog item log. See attached file. Okay, well. Agents well. Status renting. Demand medium high. Value 475,000 euros or 525,000 US dollars per use. Per use. God. Availability unique. Identifier Hadrian's well. Isn't Hadrian's well also something? What was that again? I'm pretty sure that's in this case we'll just go back, but isn't yeah, this part. This is Hadrian's wall. Yeah. Wasn't this like okay, makes sense. Description items. An Egyptian well originally used to measure the height of the Nile, constructed by Ramesses the Great. It was refurbished by the Roman. We read that, but already. Author Gemwe Noob. Initial report date. Second Akhet 1366. Year of the kingship of Ramesses II. Interest high. Identify wealth rebirth. I, Gemwe Noob, who ransoms kings and princes, who makes lead into silver and bronze into gold, who slaves number more than the fish of the Nile, I will send for the great king Ramesses, who slays his enemies and honors his servants, and I was commanded to find a cure for the pains afflicting the mighty Hans and proud heart of the great one. I came out of my estates. I gathered my rowers and my sailors and my servants. I went upon the great Nile. My 50 ships were loaded with ivory, incense, grain, cursed tablets, panthers, gold, and every good product. I came to Bessa. The priests that greeted me. They showed me their temples and their fields. I went into their well with Kemketi Wer Nebu. She was as beautiful. She who has beauty surpassing others. My wife and my companion and my dearest one. I told her what I had to do. And she understood, and she offered herself to me. She went down into the sacred waters. She took up the aspect of Isis and I of Osiris. I spoke the incantation taught to me in my childhood so long ago, and I held her beneath me until her car went from her. Age fled me. I became a young man again. I held her body, and I wept into the waters, and I went down the Nile once more. Because I didn't realize, like, I completely ignored the fact that you actually have to kill somebody close to you to stay immortal. Which, again, sounds like Marshall Carl and Doc. For sure. Yeah, I completely ignored that part. Yeah, for some reason, my part of me was like, oh, the guy's... your partner's still alive at the end of this. You stay young, but your partner's... No, it fucking says dies of asphyxiation. Of course they don't survive. I came to the call of the Great One. I told him of what I did and what he must do. He saw the youth upon my body and he gave me my rewards. And he went up upon the Nile. He took me with him, his daughter and wife, Bintanaf, lady of the two lands. They went into the well, the temple, and down in the well the car of the great king fled, and the great lady came from the well, and she was young once more. She gave unto me the well and the temples and priests, and for her generosity I swore never to speak truthfully of the great king's death during her life. Sorry, pardon me. File opened M4UDB/HF74T/JU2FA. Trading House of Mighty Kenmore. Track information. So we have Kenmore new 1213 BC, initial creation, Kushite Empire, 746 BC, seized as part of the conquest of Lower Egypt by Pai, king of Kush, Ashurbanipal of Assyria, 665 BC, seized during an extended campaign against the Kushite pharaohs, Bizkar of Uruk, 627 BC, wild by Ashurbanipal to the head of her notable Sumerian merchant house. House of Ar-Manu, 523 BC. With the rise of the Persian Empire, the assets of the Bizkar family were transferred to a Persian noble house with close ties to the Achaemenid dynasty. Alexander of Macedon, 332 BC. The house of Ar-Manu lost power in Egypt with the fall of the Persian Empire, and Alexander the Great took possession of the item. Ptolemy I, 323 BC, inherited from Alexander of Macedon. Demetrios Markellos, February 1st, 305 BC. When Ptolemy I declared himself pharaoh of Egypt, he granted the item along with a number of other objects to a Cretan merchant who had in large part funded his recent campaigns. Forum Tenebris, March 10th, 113 BC. A partial transfer of ownership. Demetrios Markellos, as one of the founder of the Forum Tenebris, maintained a half share in any profits from the item, as well as the right of free use. Lucius Caecilius Atter, May 5th, 39 AD, inherited upon the death of Demetrios Markellos. Cura Arcanorum, September 3rd, 129 AD. Another partial transfer of ownership. Manius Curius Atter wished to give the emperor the impression that the item was under sole imperial control and transferred his half share to the imperial bureau he managed. Lucius Caecilius Atter and Demetrius so here we can see that, like, Lucius is still alive. September 27th, 312 AD, with the simultaneous dissolution of the Cura Arcanorum and the destruction of the Forum Tenebris by the Emperor Constantine, ownership reverted by jointly to Lucius Caecilius Atter and Demetrios Markellos, no longer deceased. Yeah. Shows them how long they've been alive. Umayyad Caliphate, August 29, 639 AD, seized as part of the conquest of Egypt. The Mussolini family, October 20th, 1517 AD. After the Ottoman conquest of Egypt, this and other items were given to the Italian merchant family, who provided valuable support for the Turks. Dark Trading Company, January 13th, 1666 AD. The assets of the Mussolini family, along with the Dark and Cartier families, were merged into our company. Yeah, Marshall Collin Dog. Marshall Collin Dog Limited. External report. M4UDB /HF74T /GU2FA. Organization Cura Arcanorum acquired January 31st, 137 AD. Method of acquisition. A copy was given to the library of the Forum Tenebris by our associate Lucius Caecilius Atta. The provided English translation was written by Gabriel Josiah Carter in 1923. Document item MMCDX. So millennia, right? So that's 2 in century. So I forgot what D is, because it's 2M is 2 millennia, so it's 2000. What was D again? Decade. So century and decade. So would be. But, well, that's definitely, this part's definitely 18. And I assume century and decade. Not sure if that's supposed to be. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. So 2004 and 18. So what is also D stands for 5. I didn't know that. It's not decade for sure. Okay, that makes sense now. Interesting. The item is a now measuring well in the city of Antinopolis. It can be used to restore health and youth, with the sacrifice of a dear friend, a lover, or close relative. Its primary use to the empire is in ensuring that a good emperor may live for much longer than he otherwise would. A constant supply of appropriate sacrifices is needed. Possibly item, so that's now 135. Or item 1014 could be used to create love. It could be used to create love where there was none before, or the emperor could simply be convinced to have many children with women chosen for this purpose. The Emperor Hadrian was the first to use this item with the sacrifice of his lover Antinous. Unfortunately, the emperor was more attached to the boy than anticipated and forbade the object's further use, making it into a monument for his lover. The Cura Praetoria Sapiente Occulte has been made aware of the item's existence, but they do not know the proper method to use. We believe that they are unlikely to attempt to seize it, especially since they have little influence in the eastern provinces. The priestess of the temple in which the item lies are loyal to us. Many of them are sorcerers of meager ability, trained in Egyptian and Syrian schools. The Forum Tenebris holds a half share in any profits from the item, and representatives of the Forum with the proper letter of approval may make use of it. However, as the Cura Praetoria has some suspicions of the Forum involvement in our affairs, this use is to be only occasional, and those seeking to use it are to arrive and depart in absolute secrecy. Recorded by Lucius Caecilius Atta, Curator Arcanorum for the Emperor Hadrian. Whew! Took a bit longer than I expected, but that has a very messed up history to it. You have to basically drown one of your loved ones just so you can stay young and immortal. God damn. Don't let any politicians have that. Topical. Marshall Carter and no. Yeah, dog. Always have some anomaly that allow them to stay young, but of course it's never simple. In this case, drown a loved one in the Nile River. In a well near the Nile. How many people would actually be willing to go that far? There's probably a couple. There's probably a couple people who's like, yeah, no, I would be willing to kill somebody just so I can be young again. Oh, sadly, some people like that, and there's nothing we can do about that. It's just how they think, how they work, which is a shame.